Welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 picks from the showcase at Pax East 2024 in Boston, Massachusetts. Now I'm going to have 10 different games on here. That's a +5 bonus games to watch, but my top 5 picks, let's go ahead and take a look and see what they are. All right, at number 5, the first game we're going to be looking at is Pioneers of Pagonia. Pioneers of Pagonia is a world-building, big sandbox, semi-RTS game where you come to a new world on a old-fashioned ship. You've got a whole crew with you, and you have to establish your colony. You get off on the land, and you start building your watchtowers and your keeps. You have to make farmlands. You have to expand the borders of your colony. Meanwhile, depending on which kind of mode you're picking, you may have to defend against hostile enemies, whether it be bandits or more supernatural things like werewolves. So it's a really cool game, and more important than that, it's a very customizable game. And I'm not talking about just how you set up your base, because you can choose how you lay out everything that's there. It's all completely up to you how you want to set up all your bases. But before that, even before you make your new game, you can actually go in and set the difficulties and all the different kinds of options that you want to play with, whether or not you want to even have enemies or you just want a full-on creative experience like a roller coaster tycoon kind of thing, where you don't have to worry about being attacked or fighting or anything like that. You can just go in and make the world how you want to make it. And then after you've made all the settings that you really want to play with, there's even a code you have that you can send to your friends to help generate the same exact settings that you have in your world for them to play along with you as well. Now, the developer also is going to have consistent, I don't know for how long, but consistent upgrades and add-ons that are going to be added into the game. I don't believe for any charge, including a possible multiplayer feature. I don't believe it's a PvP feature, but a feature where you might be able to play in the realm together and grow together. So that would be really cool, and the game itself is a lot of fun. They had a very long demo at PAX East, and I really enjoyed sitting down and taking the time to kind of come up with the base, see all the different things. It's very immersive. There is a lot of different buildings that you can build, and a lot of them link together and perform different functions with one another. You can even make a whole marketplace with different food being made, different food vendors, places for your people to sit and eat, and so on and so forth. It's got a lot to it, and I'm very, very excited for this game to come out. At number 4, we have Witherbloom. Now, Witherbloom is a very Souls-like game, but it is only 4 or 5 months into production. Now, you can look at the trailer that I have playing right now, and honestly, the gameplay looks pretty much like this. Now, obviously, it's pretty early on in production. There's, bugs and whatnot, but it's really good compared to certain things like Skull and Bones. It's actually enjoyable, and it has a story that's interesting. Now, it's not like I got to play for hours and hours or anything like that, but there are unique aspects to the game itself, unique lighting environments, and it's a cool premise of a game that looks like it could be very cool. As far as the cutscene versus the game, it looks like the cinematics seamlessly flow, or will be seamlessly flowing into the game. So the part in the trailer where you see the guy kind of shielding himself from the sandstorm that's going on, that's actually the start of the demo that I got to play, where you see the guy walking through and then a transition into the game without any end in the cutscene. It's just the game itself. So I'm very excited for this. I got to talk to the dev a lot while I was there, and a really cool guy. Him and his wife were awesome people, and I really hope this game turns out to be what I think it will be, because it will be a lot of fun. Next up from Blind Spot Games, we have Hexadome. Now, Hexadome was a fun game that me and everybody that came with me played, and it is a 1v1. I don't know if there's going to be 2v2 or anything like that. I'm not sure, but at least 1v1 arena-style combat/sports game. Now, that sounds a little interesting and different. It's basically you get to move your characters around, and you want to get to the goal, the different goal signs or goal posts or whatever you want to call it, to score your points at the end of each turn. But the enemies and you will have a chance to knock each other out of the goals. and then the goal will shift to a different spot in the arena to when then you'll have to, shift yourselves over and try to score there. Meanwhile, combating the enemies with unique skills and abilities and picking up power-ups or pushing debuffs onto your enemies at the same time. There's also a way to accumulate cheers from the crowd in order to use another alternative skill set for your guys that you have, your units that you have. It's a really fun game, and we did get to play it at some length a couple times, and it was very, very fun. And I can't wait to see this in an actual PvP setting. I only was able to do PvE, but I cannot wait to play against other people and see the leaderboards and see the rankings and climb my way to the top. I think this is going to be a super fun game, and I get the feels of like Rocket League when I played this game. That's the kind of energy that I felt while playing it, and so I'm very excited to see this game come out. At number 2, we have Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch, which is a sequel to the original game. Now, I just purchased the original game and have been playing it and am enjoying it, and I enjoyed playing the sequel while I was at PAX. This game is going to be wonderful in the sense that you get to move your characters around on the field based off the positioning and movement speeds that they all have. You could choose your party, whether it's mages and witches or archers or knights. You've got your tanks, your guys with abilities that, taunt and pull aggro from whatever else. I like these kind of games. I have liked these kinds of games all the way back to Final Fantasy Tactics. So this is wonderful that this is a current gen game with good graphics, and it seemed pretty optimized while I was playing it while I was there, and the original game seems pretty good to me. That being said, this game should be coming out relatively soon, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. And finally, at number 1, we have Sandland. Now, Sandland, you can see the trailers for it on the PSN and so on. This was a super fun game to play at PAX, and the one that I am most looking forward to in the early on release dates. This comes out, I believe, next month in April on the 25th or something like that, and I can't wait to play it. Driving the tank was a ton of fun. The combat was enjoyable. It had a different kind of button layout that was unique and fun, just fun in general. I like the characters, I like the cast, the voice acting was interesting and good. Everything about this game was great. The animation resembles a little bit between reality and Borderlands. It's cartoony sometimes, but a little more real other times. It's very, very awesome, fast-paced, and just fun. Like I said, driving that tank around and getting to shoot things with Gatling guns and mortar shells and everything, it was just so cool. I'm sitting here driving around, mowing down raptors and giant crocodiles and stuff, and you know what? I don't know what more in life I need than a tank where I can just go hunting. That just seems awesome. The tank controls took a moment to get used to, but once you get used to it, it is super maneuverable, it is very fast, and you can really have a ton of fun just on the go. And then when you're done with the tank, you can jump out of the tank and you can do combat on your feet and just start punching the crap out of everything that's around you, doing somersaults and barrel rolls and doing ultimate attacks. It's just a super fun game to play, and I think this game will be a massive success. I don't know if it'll reach Baldur's Gate 3 kinds of success, but I think it's going to do very well for what it is. Now going into the list of kind of bonuses that we have here. Some of these are going to be like a DLC, others are games that don't appeal to a majority of people. Maybe they're a little slower games that my wife would like, for example. But let's go ahead and talk about these. First up, we have Infernax. This is very much a Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Metrovania kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. It's been out for a little while, actually, even though I've never heard of it. But I got to play it at PAX, where they literally had a couch for you to sit on, which was the most comfortable couch in the world. I think it was just a cheapy thing they picked up, but man, especially after walking around, it felt great. So I appreciate that couch. But it was a lot of fun, and you can couch co-op with somebody else. And we had a great time. Me and my brother were playing this one together, and we just sat there for like 2 hours playing this game over and over. It was so much fun, so cool, and I can't wait to play this game. I downloaded it, but since I got back, I've either been asleep or been working, so I haven't played it at home yet, but I'm going to be playing it with my wife this weekend. This was a fun game, a super good game, and it's not super expensive either. It's certainly not $70, so go look it up and buy it. You will not regret it. It's a ton of fun. Word of warning, though, it is a little on the gory side, so just keep that in mind. All right, the next one on the list is going to be the Toho Empires. Now, this game made it to the list despite a lot of negative, and I don't mean negative about the game. The people that were working the booths, whether they were devs or whatever, couldn't tell you because they just kind of refused to talk to anybody. They were just mean. They were mean. They had bitter faces the entire time. I think they thought I was trying to steal their really overpriced merchandise when I was just standing there watching my brother play a game. So these are not my favorite developers, not my favorite people. Now, that being said, the girl who was in cosplay and trying to hand out pins, she was nice. She just didn't speak any English. But all the other people there, all the other guys, they just kind of sucked. And that being said, this game was so cool. It was a lot of fun. It was fast and it was bright. It was enjoyable. It had some comedy to it. And it is an RTS game. And I am a sucker for RTS games. It was a lot of fun. That's the only thing I could say about this. It was an interesting experience, kind of a love and hate experience, but I do enjoy this game. Next, we have Space Friends. If you're looking for just a good old-fashioned asteroid/Star Fox-like game, this is the game for you. Easy controls allow you to jump right into this game with no issue and just start playing. From talking to the developer, they're adding things like they're looking to add things like barrel rolls and whatnot, but you'll get the ability to have space friends that come and assist you in the battles, much like Star Fox. Hey, Star Fox, use the barrel roll, you know, that kind of stuff, but less annoying. So this is an awesome game. I do apologize. I have no game footage for this. I can't find a demo anywhere, and I didn't record while I was there. Next on the list is a quick mention to Final Fantasy XIV's expansion Dawn Trail. Looks really good. I mean, it's always a polished game from Square Enix, and this does not disappoint. It looks good. I haven't played this game in years at this point, after playing it for like 5 years straight. But this expansion is making me kind of want to come back to the game, and I'm even talking to my wife and all of our guildmates about jumping back into it for a little while at least. This looks fun, it looks good, and I am excited to see what happens, although I'm not looking forward to the painter class. Something about it just doesn't scream Shuon-Con. Next, we have Magical Delicacy. You are a witch in a world where you basically do minor platforming and cook. You cook, you deliver your food, and that seems to be what the game's about. It was a super chill game. I was sitting there playing it for 30 minutes or so. Super chill. I actually love the soundtrack, but it is definitely not a game for me. This is more of a niche game. My wife will love this game. So if you're a big fan of cooking and food, this is a game that you will probably get to immerse yourself in and love. It is a super wholesome feeling game. It is very nice and easy to play. And like I said, super chill. For somebody like me, if you need a good sleeping pill, this is the game. The OST paired with the actual gameplay is so relaxing that I will fall asleep. So if that's a game for you, this is the one. The last and final mention is going to be Outward 2, very much a survival game, kind of like Ark, with the exception of you're not on an island as like a caveman or whatever it is. It's something a little bit different. You get more swords and weapons, and honestly, it's a little faster movement than if I were to play Ark. I actually like the movement scheme a lot more, and I'm a big fan of Ark for casual playing. So, to me, this could be a big hit if when it comes out, it is fully optimized and ready to play, but this is a game that you should check out if you like those survival-type games. And that's going to be it for this video. Of course, there were more games that were at PAX, more games that were worth playing, and of course, plenty that were not worth playing, but that's all we have time for in this video. If you were at PAX East Boston and there was a game that you especially liked, put it down in the comments and let me know. Or if you agree or disagree with one of my picks, let me know that as well. Otherwise, thank you for hanging out. Drop a like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. But until then, take care.